Hello again, you lovely people of the social. My name's Kate, and this week I want to talk to you about deadnaming and misgendering. Right, here we go again with the words. What are you on about this time? Well, deadnaming is calling a trans person by their old name. So, for example, say I used to be called Scott. I never actually used to be called Scott, but for the purpose of this, let's just say it was. And then transition to Kate. You using the name Scott would be using what's known as my dead name. In regards to deadnaming, lots of trans people really want this name to be hidden and wiped from existence. But some are okay with it. It's a personal choice. But if you're ever unsure, just go with the first option, because better to be safe than sorry, right? And as for misgendering, it's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's the act of calling a trans person by the wrong gender. So for example, calling me a he. And before you people in the comment section start, believe me, I am anything but a he. My pronouns are she and her. Now you might think you're being progressive and supportive of your trans pal when you're with them, using all the right names and pronouns, but what happens when you're behind their back? Does this seem familiar?
Yeah, right. Hear about John? He's living as a woman now.
No!
I know! He's called himself Amy, and I've known him since school, so it's a bit weird for me.
Oh!
And I'm not really sure what to do because he wants to be called she, but I've only known him as John, so it's a bit weird for me.
Alright, so he's like full on transgendered now, yeah?
And like, he's wearing like skirts and stuff.
Alright. Oh, brave though. Brave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally, like, power to him, I guess. But...
Oh, your dog's dead cute.
Thank you.
What's his name?
Oh, she's called Nancy.
Oh, sorry, like a girl dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
Now, I'm not comparing trans people to dogs, but it's simple enough to change pronouns for an animal, so why can't you do it for a person? Now let's rewind what we've just saw. She's now a woman. Well dear, I always was a woman, it's just that I wasn't living true to myself and doing a really good job of pretending to be a guy. Oh yeah, and calling himself Amy? Herself would have been a much better choice of word there, don't you think? I get it, your friends just come out and you're going to want to explain this fascinating tour de force to everybody that you meet, and then that taking away from the trans person coming out in their own time doing it their own way. And that's probably none of their business anyway, but you know, who's your friend to come out in their own time in their own way? You keep telling everyone what's going on, because that's how you be supportive, right? Right? Now I get it, if your trans pals just came out, you're going to have the situation where you dead name and misgender them. Once. And once is all you need. But look, I get it, it's a little bit complicated in the beginning. As you can imagine, I hear coming out stories all the time, and cisgender people want to come to me asking for advice on what they do with their friend. I'm happy to educate people and teach them everything that they need to know to help them be supportive. But when I'm giving you advice, take it on board and listen. If you're speaking to another trans person about a trans person, just because your friend isn't within earshot doesn't mean that you're not going to be directly affecting the person that you're speaking to. Because sometimes speaking to a cisgender person can be a completely depressing, upsetting and triggering experience.
So I wanted to speak to you because my friend John's just come out as trans.
Oh, she?
Oh yeah, sorry, she.
Alright, okay. And like, do you know how far on she is?
He told me like last month, so not that long I don't think, but I don't really know. Yeah, so he's really nice and we get on really well. I've known him since I was a kid, so we've been friends for ages. And like, I'm really happy about that for him, I guess, but it's confusing for me. And I just don't know how I'm going to deal with it.
Another thing to remember is that a thoughtless act like this can actually be dangerous to a trans person who might be living a stealth life. Because if you have a trans pal who's stealth, just because you know they're trans doesn't mean that everybody else does. Deadnaming them in front of someone could actually be very dangerous to their lives. It could cause issues with jobs, relationships, or just create awkward situations in a life that they've worked so hard to build up for themselves. And for me, well, I've had to put up with comments like this.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of something that Scott, oh god, Kate, oh god, yeah.
Scott? Oh, are you trans?
Yes.
Like Caitlyn Jenner? That's so cool!
Till next time, social folk.